Hey YouTube, Donato here, coming at you with another Great League team from the Go Battle weekend. So I'm going to go over the team, and what I'm going to do in my videos is, I know there's not a lot of cohesion in my videos a lot of the time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to discuss, moving forward, what I'm going to do, the pros and cons of each Pokemon, why I chose the team, how the team works, its strengths and weaknesses, and then I'll go into my train of thought on everything else at the ending. So let's just get into the battles. It's a very easy team. It's an ABB style team. So double steel in the back, Trevenant on the lead. So basically, I'll just start with how you work this team because it is an ABB. Unless it's like a fighter, you stay in, or I stayed in here grass, which is kind of risky, but usually what you do is, I could have come Registeel here, quite honestly, but I decided to stay in. Normally what you do is, if you don't see a fighter, you go into Registeel, try and pull out your Metagame, and then try and grab like a shield with Zap Cannon, come in with Trevenant, hard punish there, and then hopefully your Bastiodon is free to run with the Brack because you pulled out a Metagame or Swampert. And if you don't, you're stuck like this, where you still have a counter user in the back, right? Luckily, Registeel's pretty strong. So each of these Pokemon, why this ABB style team works is Registeel, even though it is going to lose to like your fighter or Swampert, the Focus Blast and Zap Cannon are just like, Lock-On's a very fast energy generating move, so you're gonna grab shields most likely in most scenarios, right? So look at that, you get the attack fall and you grab the shields from Deoxys. So even though you're gonna get hit with a move here, like these counters, you still got the shield that you can just farm down here. Bastiodon is, we're gonna have a Bastiodon matchup here. Bastiodon is gonna be your greatest answer to Noctowl because you have the smackdown, but you also have just an insane amount of bulk that Registeel doesn't have. Like, my Bastiodon is level 47, 48, 49, somewhere around there, and Registeel's like, I don't know, 16, what is it, 17, something like that, 20. It's pretty low, right? So the difference in bulk is substantial compared to Registeel versus Bastiodon. So Bastiodon is just like literally a wall. Like, as you're gonna just smack down, and it's one of the best or worst Pokemon depending on how you use it or what matchup you get into, right? So let's just go over the pros and cons of each Pokemon. Registeel, like I said, strengths is 2 fast charging, good nukes, okayish bulk, not amazing bulk, but okayish bulk, and you can basically hit neutral on everything. No, not everything. Like, I'm just thinking Trevenant is going to resist both Focus Blast and Zap Cannon, but even a resisted Zap Cannon still is over 50%, so you still only need 2, which is the situation in most cases. So that's the pros. Cons, again, limited. It's limited in its fast move energy. So you get energy from Lock-On, it doesn't do any damage, so you do need to rely on those charge moves. But for the most part, pretty strong overall. Bastiodon's strengths is it's so tanky, it just walls the flyers. Even against some of the other Pokemon, it takes like, I played the Sableye matchup a bunch because I'm running Sableye, and it takes like, I don't know, 5 foul plays to take it out. It's something ridiculous. If 4 or 5, it's a lot. It's a lot. So that's a strength. The problem is, like, if you get against a fighter, you basically lose the matchup, like, because you have Smackdown, which is resisted. They're gonna farm up to 1,000 energy. They're gonna farm up to 100 energy, take you out with ease, have energy coming out, which is where it gets tricky for you. So as a pro strength of Bastiodon, Trevenant was, again, I think I just mentioned this in my video of yesterday, one of the best in this meta for a very, very, very long time. Deals with steals, deals with fighters, deals with water, and Swampert, and Lantern. Like, such a good Pokemon, just gets absolutely walled by Noctowl, right? You have nothing to throw at Noctowl, so you need to build it with 2 things that can beat Noctowl, right? So how does it deal in this meta right now? And look at Bastiodon, like, tanks a Hydro Pump just with ease. It's so crazy. Terrible canning on my part, as I normally do. So that is the team. I don't love ABB style teams, quite honestly. I just find them limiting. I'd rather take a balanced team, and I'm going to go over that in some of the future videos. that I have put together because I just find balance is better. But yeah, with these teams, like you gotta switch right away here, and then you could get punished right here, which means you better hope they don't have something in the back to beat you. So it's okay. I don't love ABB style teams, but this team is like, it's got the bulk in the back. It's got like a strong Pokemon in the lead. So it's overall, I think, worth using if you have. I don't get the attack drop either, which is too bad. Maybe I should have just done Focus Blast there. So yeah, so I went over the pros and cons of each Pokemon, the pros and cons of the team, its place in the meta. I think this is, I do actually win because they try to farm down and get a Focus Blast off. Crazy. I think that well, I know that Purple Kyogre just hit with a modified version of this team. He had Pelipper, Registeel. Was it Bastiodon, or maybe it's Galarian Stunfisk? Same sort of thing, right? You can run Galarian Stunfisk instead, double steal that way in the back. Like, it has its place in the meta because, like, what is the meta Noctowl? So fighting, like, backline is going to be weak to fighting, but you deal with that with Trevenant. Lantern, great answer in the front to it. The other two can hold up, but they're sort of losing. Actually, Registeel may beat Lantern. I need to look at the thing for that. And then the Flyers, you just wall the Flyers, right? And then against like Sableye, you're kind of neutral in most of these situations. So it's one of those things where I think overall, if you want overall easy team to use that will probably do okay, you can use this team. The only problem with this team is if you do run into just a bad lead and you lose switch here too, it's likely, I don't know if I set this up, but it's likely a loss in this matchup, unless you can like somehow flip this matchup with a couple Focus Blasts. But otherwise, it is likely that this team is going to lose. And that's the only con of ABB style teams, is that if you lose a lead and then you get punished on the switch, you're most likely, even doesn't matter what's in the back, you're going to lose, quite honestly. So those are the pros and cons teams, and we'll let these battles play out here. There is sort of not a super core breaker, but like Obstagoon is going to do super, like an Obstagoon, a Dark Fighter, Scrafty. Well, I think Scrafty is even worse actually than Obstagoon. So Scrafty in the back here. Sorry if you hear running up around, kids running around upstairs. Like a Scrafty that can load up, but again, Scrafty is weak to Focus Blast, so you can probably grab a shield there. And the counters are resisted, so they need to land a foul play on the Trevenant, right? So it's not super, like, you can work around here. And this one, Pelipper spammy. I got Pelipper coming in one of my teams in the next little bit here. So stay tuned for that. So yeah, that's a team. Now I have 2.5 minutes to just rant about whatever. I don't know. I don't know what I want to rant about. I think that the Go Battle Day weekend was okay. Like, I got frame drops and lag to a certain extent, but it wasn't like just brutal. I think that the meta is stale. I had someone on Twitter, which is in the link in the description below if you want to go check that out. Someone on Twitter mentioned that all they saw in their 2100 ELO range was Lantern, Metachamp, Noctowl, and Galarian Stunfisk. They were on all the teams. I'm like, yeah, well, they were on all the teams in the 80 and the 2700, 2800 ranking as well. Like, that's just the state of the meta right now. There's not much you can do about it. So you just build around it, or you beat them or join them, essentially. And I've tried both. You're going to see a couple teams that I order matters, and I'll go over that. Pelipper. I'm excited. I don't know when I'm going to show it, either Wednesday or later on the weekend or next week. I'm excited to show that team. That works super. It got me like 5-0s and got me up to 2800s, and then it didn't work for a bit, so I changed the team. But it definitely got me my most grinding wins on the weekend here. So I will showcase that, and then yeah, I'm running another team right now with the strategy that I mentioned yesterday morning's video. I was going to say go check out yesterday's morning video, but I got a couple minutes here. I'll just tell you right now. If you missed that, I think the safe swap, balanced team safe swap strategy is dead. I think a lot of these balanced teams that I run now, I'm running the old safe swap on the lead. So you're going to see that I'm going to run Pelipper on the lead in one of the teams. You're going to see that I run Sableye on the lead multiple times, because I'm just finding that with Noctowl, like everywhere, your go-to safe swaps of Sableye, Lickitung that can normally flip matchups or grab shields cannot do that anymore. So for me, there's no point of running that sort of balanced safe swap team if your safe swap's not going to be able to be a true safe swap and actually grab shields and stuff. So I think Noctowl kind of killed the balanced team safe swap approach. So what I do now on most of my teams, and I mentioned this yesterday, I got it because of how strong the Gyarados team was, where you run your safe swap on the lead, fight for switch, and then you have your choice in the back. And that's kind of what I've been doing moving forward. Pelipper on the lead, Sableye on the lead, try and win, fight for switch when you can, and then you have a balanced team in the back where you should be able to either hard counter or choose your alignment that you want. So stay tuned for those videos. I'll go over more of those, how I built them when those come up. But that is it. Thanks for watching. Appreciate the thumbs up, and please comment on the video to help the YouTube algorithm. Let me know if you have any thoughts or comments. I'm pretty good at answering everything in the comment section. So that is it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.